Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Timothy Stachinsky, and I'm the owner of Bridge Coffee Company. And like most of you out there, sheltering in place as well. And I am in the mood for a cup of coffee. So just a little bit about Bridge Coffee Company. We are located in Marysville, California, and we have a cafe in Yuba City, California, and you can visit them at 101 Clark Avenue. They're ready to take care of you right now. So I'm going to do a Chemex, and I've got everything in place right now. I've got hot water that just came off of the boil, and so I'm going to move pretty quickly. Right now I've got a vertical support. This is our espresso blend, and I really love it as drip coffee. And I'm going to measure out 55 grams of this coffee for a 6-cup Chemex. I'm going to be using 750 milliliters of water. That is just enough for about just under 14 to 1 concentration. I like a little stronger on the Chemex because the filter is 25% thicker than most filters. The grinder, I am going to set my grind setting to just about kosher salt. So this is kosher salt right there, and I want it also a little I want the coffee to be a little bit coarser than typical filter, also because this filter is 25% thicker than normal paper filters. This filter comes in the shape of an X, and so you just unfold it with a little magic move like that, and I'm going to pre-wet the filter just to give it some heat and kind of take some of the paper taste off of that. I'm going to go back to my sink here and tear this out. Add my coffee. Tear once more and start the clock. Now, as I'm pouring, I'm going to pour just twice as much of the weight of coffee that I put into the Chemex as I did there with the coffee in water. So I put in 55 grams of coffee, and I'm putting in 100 to 110 grams of water. And with that, I'm going to let this bloom. And the bloom takes 30 to 45 seconds. I personally like a 45-second bloom. And it just allows the water to penetrate the coffee a little bit better than just letting it pour right over. So you saw that it was kind of breathing there, and I'm going to start here in the center. And my goal is to wet every bit of the grounds that I see, and I'm going to add half or thereabouts my total goal of water. And that is 350 grams of water. This particular scale has a 1/10 gram accuracy, and up to a certain point. But once it gets to that point, then it gets past like 100 grams, then it goes to standard gram scale. So I overshot a little bit, 388. We're at 1:30, and before all of the water goes through the coffee, I'm going to start adding some more. I'm going to try and avoid to get the last drips of coffee from water from going through the filter before I add my second pour. My time is right just before 2 minutes, and that is pretty much right on track. If I had ground it finer, it would pour too slowly. If I had ground too coarse, it would pour too fast. And I want enough contact time in there with the coffee. So right at a couple minutes, I'm going to actually sweep the sides of the filter to get the coffee more into the center of the cone so that we can get as much contact time as possible with that water. And then I'm just going in concentric circles. I'm going to stop there because I'm real close to the top of the vessel. The Chemex, I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing it correctly. It's been around for 60 years. A chemist designed it. It's very elegant. I love how this looks. It's been used at weddings for tableside service for folks that are couples that are coffee fans. So love to see that. Super beautiful up on the table. My target for this coffee, all told, is going to be right at around 6 minutes for the contact time. We're at just 3 minutes and 20 seconds right now. I'm going to do one last sweep of the filter and get up to my 750 gram goal. All right. So with pour over coffee, the goal is to try and get as much surface of the coffee to extract the water. Now, this is a great way of making a single cup of coffee, but like this particular vessel is great for just for a couple of cups. So beautiful extraction, beautiful clarity of the coffee with a Chemex. The extra thickness of the filter does grab a lot of the oils. Some folks are not big fans of that because it does a lot of the flavors in the oil. But one of the things that's really special about this bonded paper is that it lets the right kind of oils to pass through. The ones that trap a lot of the bitter flavors in coffee, that is still captured in the filter, but the flavor that you want to taste in the cup does pass through. Because it's so thick, it does have a pretty strong paper taste, so a good wash or rinse beforehand does give it doesn't give it the much cardboard taste, but if you don't do the rinse, that's definitely evident in the cup. A little bit more about this coffee. This is a blend of coffee that we get from our friends in Brazil from Our Coffees. And it also has 25% of some Colombia and some Sumatra in there for chocolate notes. Now, like I said, this is great as an espresso, but this particular coffee just happens to be beautiful as a pour over. Now, it's going to be chocolatey, but it's also going to have a really nice citrus note. It's going to have a nice nutty flavor. The Sumatra gives a nice dark chocolate, but then it's balanced with some wonderful sweet and fruity notes. And I just love how balanced this cup is. A little more creamy, a little heavier body, a little thicker on the mouthfeel with this particular blend of coffees. But that's one of the things I love about blending coffees is you can give a balanced cup that just kind of skews in a direction you might be after. So I'm seeing that just the last few drips are coming through. I'm going to drop this into the sink. And we're 6 minutes and 9 seconds right now. This was a perfect pour. I am super thrilled with myself. I happen to have my favorite mug with me, and enjoy.